Hey guys, that Mike Gaming back here for another video. Welcome back to another Waiver Wild Pickup Show. This is for week 11. Sorry, week 12 now, my bad. So, let's get started right away in quarterbacks. I've been saying his name every single week, but yeah, he's still not in all leagues. Dak Prescott is probably the best quarterback you can have this year in fantasy. Number 2 is going to be Philip Rivers. If he is on your free agency, the playoff matchups are great for Philip Rivers. Number 3 are going to be Kirk Cousins. He's definitely getting it done every single week. Definitely, if he's on free agency, pick him up. Some flybys you can look at is going to be Colin Kaepernick. Has a great fantasy playoffs, and pretty much he's going to do a pretty nice job, in all honesty. Now, running backs. Number 1 to pick up is going to be Smallwood for the Philadelphia Eagles. Ryan Matthews, don't know how long he's hurt for. Darren Sproles is not the every down runner. And what they're using is, when Ryan Matthews went out, they were using Kendall Smallwood as the every down runner. So definitely Smallwood number 1. Another running back to pick up, or if he's in your league and he's in free agency, Thomas Rawls. CJ Prosek went down with an injury. Definitely not looking good for him. So Pete Carroll said he's going to be out for many, many weeks. So that means Thomas Rawls is going to be the number 1 back there with Alex Collins as the backup. Another halfback to look at is going to be Mark Gillisley. Now, Shady McCoy, we don't know how long he's going to be out for or even hurt for. He has I believe, a broken thumb or messed up thumb. Oh, no, sorry, dislocated thumb. That's it. So Mark Gillisley, in all honesty, Gillisley is a must pick up no matter what, because of the fact that if Shady ever gets hurt later in the season, especially around fantasy playoff time, you want to have him, and you also always want to have your fantasy backup. So if you have Zeke, get Alfred Morris. If you have Shady McCoy, get Gillisley. If you have Freeman, get Tevin Coleman. If you have Bell, get D'Angelo Williams / Toussaint, depending on when Williams comes back. So any kind of big running back you have, always accompany him with a backup running back. If you have Jonathan Stewart, get Curtis Alders Payne. So whoever your big running back is, get the backup, get the handcuff, and that's the smartest thing you can do. Mark Ingram is now hurt, so Tim Hightower, if he is on your free agency, definitely go take a look at him and pick him up. Robert Kelly, again, if he's on your free agency, get a new league, but definitely pick him up if he is. Wide receivers, number 1 on the list, and the number 1 guy you should be looking at, and honestly, I drop a lot of people for this guy. Sammy Watkins. Now, I know going into the year, he was ranked number 8 receiver, right? Right now, he's on free agency in more than 50% of the leagues. And the big thing to look at with that is going to be, wow, he's coming back. He actually is. He's eligible to practice this week. If he practices this week, we could see him out as soon as Sunday. He could be out there as soon as Sunday playing again. And with Robert Woods now down with an injury, Goodwin's the only receiver they have. If Sammy Watkins comes back, he's going to receive all the goal line targets, especially if Shady McCoy does miss a couple weeks. Sammy Watkins literally could be a number 1, if not the best number 2 receiver for the rest of the year possible. So definitely, if he's on free agency, go pick him up. Next guy we're going to talk about is going to be Cameron Meredith. Now, what we saw was Jay Cutler sucks. I'm sorry if you're a Bears fan, but your quarterback sucks. And what he did against the Giants was, pitiful to say the least. It was awful. But what we did see is Zach Miller is now out for the year. So that means with Jeffrey out for 3 more weeks with the suspension, no Zach Miller. Zach Miller led the team Sunday with targets 6 receptions. You know who number 2 was? Cameron Meredith, with 4 receptions. And I believe it was Jordan Howard with 3 receptions, and then, went downhill from there with Eddie Royale and all the other guys. But the thing is, guys, we have to look at is Cameron Meredith, everything is going his way. Okay, Zach Miller out for the year. Alshon Jeffrey suspended till week 14. Oh, sorry, he doesn't play till week 15, I believe. But still, everything going his way. So pick him up, stash him on your team. Next guy I want to talk about is going to be, what's his name? Robert Woods. Now, the only reason I want to talk about him is just in case Sammy Watkins cannot come back later down the line. Buffalo does have some great matchups in the fantasy playoffs, so it's always a good thing to have the guys that can do great in fantasy playoffs. Next guy I want to talk about is going to be actually one of two guys. Tyrell Williams and Travis Benjamin. Now, as I said before, Phil Rivers has great matchups in the fantasy playoffs. Well, the big thing to look at is going to be Tyrell Williams is going to eat in the fantasy playoffs. But if Travis Benjamin plays, I don't think, he's even worth not having. He's not worth, starting. He's not going to be as good as a starter if Travis Benjamin is not playing. Right now, we don't know what's going on with Travis Benjamin. He's hurt. Now, if he's out for the rest of the year, Tyrell Williams is a must start every single week, and he's going to be an amazing fantasy playoff wide receiver. If Travis Benjamin comes back, that's definitely something to look at. Now, that's why I say he's a spectacle ad, because I don't know what he's going to be. Now, let's wrap this up with tight ends. Defense. Pick up Patriots defense for the rest of the year. They have great matchups. Kicker, Matt Bryant, Lambeau. Those two kickers definitely have them on your team. And Caleb Surges. And then tight ends, Cameron Brate has some great fantasy playoff matchups. Same thing with Antonio Gates, Hunter Henry, Jack Doyle. There's a lot of definitely good tight ends out there that's on free agency. Vernon Davis. If any of these guys I'm mentioning are on your free agency, you go pick them up right now. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you would like to enter the GOAT list down below for some awesome awards and giveaways, definitely go do so. You click on the link in the description. It says join the GOAT list today. It takes you to a beautiful website called patreon.com. You click on become a patron, and you're automatically entered into the GOAT list. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.